Yini, what do I say?
Hey vlog.
Hey vlog. I do it?
No, hey Vlog Nation.
It's Vlog Nation.
Hey vlog nation. I don't know. That's I feel like I have to sound a little nasally.
No, Mrs. Bennett. You have to say, hey Vlog Nation, welcome back to our daily vlog. My name is Mrs. Bennett.
My name. Hey vlog nation. Well, welcome back to our daily vlog. Today I am Mrs. Bennett. She, they. And then we'll see what happens over the weekend. In case you're curious, this was a present given to me because students said they were going to get me hair for my birthday.
Wow.
So this was the choice, apparently. So because I have no shame, this is what I look like today. All right there. Okay. So
We should give him braids. Thanks, man. We should give him style and wait for him.
Should I go bald and give you all this?
True story, Jabron. That's what my hair used to look like. Okay.
I don't know how to braid hair, but I know it's like 3 strands.
Yeah, I can braid.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So you can structure your notes. You can structure your notes how you normally do. Okay. I'm just going to use these practice problems to work off of. Okay. So today is lesson 1.5. Okay. We're still solving equations. Specifically, it's equations with variables on both sides. This thing is like hot. It's like trapping all the heat that usually comes off of my head. I am. Jefferson. Okay. So this first problem doesn't have variables on both sides. Okay, but it's a good one to start with. Our first process, okay, is when we're solving equations. Okay, needs to be. I'm going to go to the side a little bit. You can write it where you need to, but I'm just going to make a couple notes. Okay, so our first step needs to be identifying the variable. Okay. And what I mean by that is, where is it? And what is it? Hopefully it's now. Okay, so like if we look at number 1, we've got b plus 2b equals 9. So we would identify that the variable is where? Yeah, on the left side, because we've got they're separate, right? So we've got them on the left side, and what is it? It's b, right? Okay, so our next step is that we need to, if possible, actually I need to put simplify and combine like terms. And this is kind of the process that I break down for pre-algebra. I'm not sure if I really got in the weeds with this with you guys, so I just want to make sure that we have it. Okay. A lot of us did really well on the quiz, and then some of us didn't. That's okay. Okay. If you didn't do well on the quiz, there is Zap sign up under the Algebra 1 agenda on the board back there. Okay. So if you want to retake it at some point next week, sign up and I'll get you scheduled. So what I mean by simplify, okay, is if you need to distribute, okay? If you need to do some exponent stuff, do some exponents, okay? It's basically get all the math on that side of the equal sign out of the way, okay? To where you can just work with what you have. So is there anything that I can simplify on the left-hand side? There's not necessarily anything to multiply, but we can combine like terms, right, Gray?
Yes.
So what if I combined B and 2B, what would I get? 3B, okay? We're adding them together. That B has a 1 in front, so now we'd have 3B equals 9, okay? And then your last step after you combine like terms, not last step, your next step after you combine like terms is move variables to one side, everything else to the other side. Okay, so in order to do that, okay, you might have to do some shifting. Now, on this first problem, we don't necessarily have that, okay, but we will have that on a couple problems later on. So what's our last step is just to, yes, you're getting the variable by itself by performing inverse operations. What does inverse operations mean? Yeah, opposite operations, exactly, okay? Blessing. Okay, so to do that, okay, and this is especially important if you were someone that didn't necessarily get the score that you wanted Wednesday on the quiz. Don't answer this out loud, anybody. I just want you to see if you can answer it in your head. Okay, you need to identify what operation is happening to the variable. Okay, and when I say operation, I mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, could be exponents of some kind. Okay, could be parentheses of some kind. So if we look at 3b equals 9, what operation is happening to the variable? That's what we need to be able to answer in our head. If we see 3b, hopefully we would identify that those are being multiplied together. Okay, so what's the opposite of multiplying by 3? Dividing by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. The 3's will cancel out, give us b. 9 divided by 3 is 3. See if you can put number 2 together real quick. I'll give you about a minute and a half or so to work on number 2. I would also say if you're someone that didn't score really the way that you wanted to, and the ones that we missed might have been the solving equations problems, really look at the way that I know it seems superficial, which is interesting coming from a guy wearing a fake pink wig today, but look at the way your problem looks as you're working it. Does it look linear and structured like mine does? Okay. If it doesn't, that is something that will help you stay organized and really have kind of like give your brain a map on how you're working the problem. Okay. I still struggle with getting my more advanced students to be willing to do it more strictly uniform like that. But I do think it can help. So number 2, okay, our first step is identify the variable and locate it. Okay, our variable is m. We're all on the left side. Now I'm going to simplify and combine like terms. There's nothing I need to multiply or distribute, but I can combine the m and the negative 4m. So this is really important right here because we combine this wrong often. And when I say me, I mean everyone. Okay. M minus 4m is how you should look at that. Okay. The way that my brain always worked, and this is probably just because this is how my algebra teacher taught it, is we just take these by themselves and add them together. So you have m plus negative 4m. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you that's how you need to think about it. You can think of it any way you need to, but it needs to be keeping the sign that's in front of it with that term. Okay. So I have a positive m and I have a negative 4m. When we put those together, what do we get?
Negative 3m.
Yeah, negative 3m. And then we'll bring down the 1. So we have minus 1 equals negative 7. And now we have two operations happening to the variable. What is one of them, Malcolm?
Addition. Subtraction.
Subtraction. It's being subtracted by 1. Okay. And Gray, what's the other one? By negative 3. Yeah, I interrupted your yawn. Sorry. Negative 3m. Okay. So there is a correct order on how to move those over. Okay. So let me show you what would happen if you did the multiplication or the division part first. Okay. When you're doing multiplication and division, you have to do that to every single term. Okay. Now I've asked this question, but it's been a few weeks. What are terms separated by? Do we remember? They're operation signs. So they're separated by addition, subtraction, or equal signs. Okay? That's how terms are separated. Yeah. Yeah. So like if I'm looking at the problem that we have now, because this is now the problem that we're working with, how many different terms do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 right there. Okay. So if you divide by negative 3 first, don't do this. Okay, just watch. You're going to have to do it to everything. That makes that problem look really gross, right? Because now all of a sudden you're working with a 1/3. Now you're working with a 7/3 on the right side. Okay. So work smarter, not harder. Move the things that you can combine together first, like this addition right here. We'll just bring down the negative 3m. And you're going to do negative 7 plus 1, which we would all hopefully agree is negative 6. And now, how many different terms do we have? Just 2. We have one on the left and one on the right, right? And so now all we have to do is divide negative 3 on both sides. I'll move my answer over here. It's going to give me m equals negative 6 divided by 3, which is negative 2. Okay. So what did we learn from number 2 about the order of doing the step number 4, inverse operations? I would like for you to turn to somebody you're sitting close to and discuss what you learned about number 2 on the order of how to move stuff from one side to the other. Ready, set, go. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Brian, tell Strummer what you learned.
Was it actually?
No. No.
All right, let's come back together. I'm really excited to have some of you share. You have a question? What was the question? Nice. The question was, what did you learn about number 2 on this step right here that we talked about on how to move stuff over from one side of the equal sign to the other? Jabron, what'd you learn?
That you gotta
Facts.
Whatchamacallit or who's he whatsies?
I don't remember what it's called. Hold on.
Brandon, help him out.
It's combined like terms.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after we combine like terms, okay, we had two operations happening. We had multiplication happening. And this is, I feel like I'm explaining again, and I already see people checking out on me, guys. Okay. I'm trying to help you. I already know how to solve these. Okay. So we have two operations happening. Multiplication and subtraction are happening to that variable. Which one should you move first? The subtraction part or the multiplication part? The subtraction part. Okay. Because otherwise you're going to have to do what?
Do it to all.
Divide everything by 3 instead of just one side and the other. Okay. There we go. I'm glad that point really drove home. Okay. Yeah, do number 3. And then we'll come together and finish this out. For number 3, if you're writing it down, you've got -6 equals -5p plus 6p. It's also good to see that my hairy minions are floating around TikTok.
They are?
Oh.
I want to make one of those.
No,
We're going to make one.
not right now.
I have too much hair. Please.
All right.
Oh, I have to cut my curls.
You can probably make like an actual minion.
Can you grab me one too, Mackenzie? Yeah.
Minion like that.
You know what's trending on TikTok? You know
Oh.
what's trending on TikTok? My interviews. Where's my
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing that's ever been in one of my classrooms ever. I'm not really in charge of it. It kind of just, it's like, well,
You get it initiated, just not so
my classroom is just their meeting place, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna put the solution up here. Don't look up till you're ready.
Horses, Mr. Bennett.
Do what?
Hold your horses.
A human calculator. A human calculator sounds like you're like pressing buttons on a human.
Is this your answer too? Yes. Okay. One please just
I did it.
You looked up.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did
No,
too.
no, but I know
He
how to solve
cheated.
it. No, but I know how to solve it. I
You
did all
didn't.
that
You
work. I did all
didn't
that
show
work.
your work.
Yeah, I did.
No. You cheated.
Yeah, I combine like terms,
I'm so smart.
He's solving it right now.
and then that's it. You don't have to do anything else. That's okay. If you wrote that like on a test or something, I would count it right. You just won't ever see that on a state test. Okay.
What you do? I drew a beautiful picture of you.
Yeah.
Look, it's right here. You have to go see it. Wait, is it bad if I put it there? If I just.
Wow. I'm so happy.
I'm going math one.
I mean,
Math 1 is not a thing.
Yeah.
What is that, like first grade?
If there's
Okay.
a math 7, there's
That's fair. There probably is.
got me back.
All right.
I'm a protest.
Let's go to number 3. I want y'all to have plenty of time to work on your homework, so let's go to number 4. Okay, number 4. Okay, this is now where we're going to need to utilize all the steps. Okay, so we have -3k minus 18 equals 3 times the factor -k minus 7. Okay, I needed to put some distribution on here because we're not very good at distributing. Well, okay, so step 1. You need to identify the variable. And where is it? Focus up, guys. Focus up. Focus up. Yeah, both sides. And what is the variable? Okay. Okay. So good?
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea to eat all the cinnamon from the bottom.
But then it got in your eyes? Cinnamon burns, my man.
My brother's allergic to cinnamon.
Okay. What do we need to do next?
Wait.
Combine like
Yeah, we need to combine like terms. In order to do that, we will have to simplify by distributing.
What?
It's 'cause
So we will have negative 3k minus 18 equals. Okay, I need you to distribute this first, and then I will show you if you did it correctly or not. Okay? You have to practice distributing.
I know how to distribute. No, I don't. I think I lied.
You lied?
No, I didn't.
My pencil's breaking. I think I'm being too aggressive.
I think I did.
A picture of this got posted on my Facebook now, and Miss Lay just commented on it.
Picture of who? What'd she say? I missed her.
She said a true queen. All right, did we distribute?
No.
No?
What if it's
It's horrible. I need conditioner.
It means a lot.
Can I braid your hair?
Watch it.
Sorry.
Mr. Bennett, can I braid your hair?
I'm not sure you'd be able to.
Just like Jan.
It's pretty like
Why you sniffing mouth?
tangly and
I braided a
Coarse.
3-year-old's hair for a ballet performance. I think I can do your hair.
I need somebody to braid my hair.
I got
all right. Let's see how we did. 3 times negative k should give you negative 3k. Okay. 3 times negative 7 should give you negative 21. Okay.
Ryan.
So here is your, and this is where like my trouble is as a teacher. What at this point, what you need to do is if you distributed incorrectly, okay, it doesn't look like that. You need to try and go back and see what part you messed up on. Okay, it's not just about, oh, you did it wrong. Okay, we'll try the next one. You need to look at the one that you did wrong and see if you can kind of analyze it. Like dig a little deeper. Was it the negative on the k that you messed up on? Was it the negative on the 7 that you missed? Okay, did we multiply wrong? Something like that. Okay, so we really need to break down what we did. So what this is about to do to you is show you extraneous solutions. Okay, so extraneous solutions. Here, I'm gonna write this on here because it's a good keyword.
That's a big word.
Yep. So extraneous. Okay, extraneous means not good. Okay, it's just mathier. So extraneous solutions. Okay, so in algebra, you will get solutions that don't work. Okay, and what that means is you have special circumstances or special cases. There will be 2 special cases. Okay, so when we're solving for a variable, we are solving for a number, right? We are hoping that x equals 2 or x equals negative half or something like that. Okay, but there are 2 instances where you won't get a number. You will either get no number at all, or you will get every number that exists. If you got every number that exists, what's your answer? Infinity. Okay? Or all real numbers, which is another way that we would say it. Okay? The opposite of that is if we don't get any, what would our answer be? 0 is an answer. That's a good guess, though. Were you flabbergasted at me saying 0 is an answer, or was that a hiccup? Okay. I said 0 is an answer. Okay. Unsolvable. So we would say our answer is no solution. Okay, no solution. So let's look at number 4 because I do believe this one is going to end up being one of those. Okay. Now we need to move. What's step number 3? Okay. So Gibran, what side do we want to start on, the left or the right? Okay. So we want to move the variables to one side. So do you want to move that negative 3k over to the right side? Okay, so let's do that. What's the opposite of negative 3k? Positive 3k. Positive 3k. That should be k. Okay, what happens to the 3k on the left? Cancels out. I'll bring down the negative 18. Equals. What happens to the 3k on the right? It cancels. Bring down the negative 21. Uh-oh. Where'd our variable go?
It disappeared into the matrix.
It disappeared. Okay.
I don't know.
I would argue it didn't disappear into the matrix. It disappeared out of the matrix.
What's the matrix?
What?
Don't worry about it. You don't know what the matrix is? Culture yourself. Okay. You're in the matrix right now.
It disappeared into the back rooms.
It's a simulation.
Wow.
Okay, galaxy brain you for a second. Okay, galaxy brain you for a second. The matrix is a computer program that basically keeps your minds plugged into the computer, and so you think you're living a life, but you're actually living a simulation. Okay. The whole life's a lie. I think the real question is, if you can't tell the difference, does it matter? So, all right, let's finish. Let's get back to algebra and get off of the matrix. We will work with matrices this year, so you'll get to actually work with a matrix. Okay, negative 18 equals negative 21. You have to ask yourself, guys, focus for me. Focus. This is a different kind of problem. Okay, negative 18 equals negative 21. We have no variable, so we are no longer solving anything. Now we're just reading a number sentence. Does negative 18 equal negative 21?
No.
No, it does not. So our answer is no solution. Okay? And this brings me to a point that I saw on the quiz on Wednesday. You can no longer write your zeros with a diagonal line through them. I maybe saw 5 to 10 people doing that. Okay? I totally understand why you do that. And it's because you're trying to differentiate between a 0 and an O. Okay? We won't use O's ever in algebra. Okay? So if you have a 0, you need to just write it like this, because if you write it like this, you're telling me that your answer is no solution. Okay? Which are different answers. So no solution is number 4. That means, if we're thinking in context of actual solutions, okay, when we find an actual solution, so like on number 2, we found m equals negative 2. If we plugged a negative 2 back into the problem, it would all work out beautifully, right? But if we plugged in any other number, it wouldn't work. On number 4, it doesn't matter what number we plug in. You can plug in any number that exists, and it would never come out to work, okay? So, try number 5.
Everyone loves my dad for something. Bro, scary. You're right. Who? What?
Friday.
Honestly, right. How does one do that?
It was so easy.
Yes.
Yes, but now we're doing this.
Ryan, your vocabulary is so unique.
What's wrong with being unique, Kenny?
Huh? Oh. Nothing.
6 feet, do we like put negative 6 feet under it? Or just 6 feet? You said feet.
You just like left team?
No, I said feet.
Oh.
Make sure you do step number 2 first. Okay, I'm going to start putting the solution up there in about 30 seconds. Don't look up till you're ready to check. If you are done with that one, you can go on and do, we're going to skip number 6. You can do number 7. Number 7's a real fun one. What? Make you do number 7? Oh.
What is that? What?
All right.
What is that?
Well, never mind. I'm going to say something and get in trouble. What? Hold on.
I didn't know in my head.
Well, yeah, I should be in spelling bee. I spelled HOOLI.
I can be in a spelling bee.
Did I do it myself?
Oh, wow.
You need to slow your make.
So that would be
I think most are sold.
Oh, I did that really wrong.
Well, hold on. Wait till the end. Because if we did it different, if we did it in a different order.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Where'd you get 24?
Because look,
Right here.
look, this one.
But,
I didn't.
oops. I should be JoJo Siwa right now. I want to be JoJo Siwa.
I don't like the little singer group.
Oh my
No,
god.
I don't like that one, girl.
Kinley?
The one that just
Kinley? I love XOM Chicago.
Okay, because it's, listen to me, guys, so you don't go on and do more than you need to. It is already about the time that I had wanted to give you your homework. So I'm going to skip 6 and 7. Okay, if you've already started working on one of those, just pause. Okay, and let's go down to the next section. So this is number 5. Okay, if you struggled with number 5, okay, please do the homework today. Okay, it will be good practice, and then we will check it. We can check. Well, I'll check them. I'm gonna have you turn them in, and then we'll keep working. Okay, but please do the homework. Don't blow it off, especially if you're struggling. Okay. All right. Let's go on to simplifying expression. Okay. This is extra practice for exactly what I think we're struggling with, which is the distribution part. Okay. So this is still the notes. This is still the notes. Okay. What's up? Okay. So on simplifying expressions, we are not solving. Okay. You're only combining like terms and simplifying. Okay. So like on number 8, what's the first thing I need to do? Starts with a D. Distribute. Okay. So I'm going to take 4 and multiply it to both of those. It's going to be 4 minus 24x plus 7. Okay. So after I distribute, now I need to combine like terms. What are the like terms that I need to combine? 4 and 7. So what is 4 plus 7?
4.
11. So I have negative 24x plus 11. That's it. I'm done. Because you're only simplifying. We're not solving anything.
Oh.
You can't solve anything that doesn't have an equal sign.
It has no equal sign.
He just said that.
I didn't see.
It's actually my preference that you do repeat what I say and remember it right. So
I did repeat what you said. So.
okay. So the I'm going to leave that. If you want to do those practice problems on the notes, you're more than welcome to. Okay. I'm going to skip to this last section, which I think is the last section. Yeah, it basically is. Don't worry about it. You're going to love it. Okay.
Can you grow up?
Do what? Grow up? You grow up.
No, go. Roll up.
Okay. On number 11, okay, this is just more practice with simplifying radicals, okay? I want us to continue practicing these because radicals will come back later on and we'll be doing a lot of work with them, okay? So you got to use prime factorization, okay, which is dividing by prime numbers. And because it is a square root, we're finding pairs, right? Those pairs become one, like marriage or a lifetime partner, okay? You've got,
Isn't that the same thing?
do what?
Marriage and a lifetime.
Some people don't get married. And some people that do get married are not lifetime partners. So, you know, yeah, you got LOL. Okay. Sorry, Vlog Nation. Get married. It's okay. All right. We're combining the threes together. Okay. They become one. It's Valentine's Day. They get to go out. The person that's by themselves has to stay in. Okay. I am not going to show you how to do number 15. But on your homework, I do want you to do number 15, which will be a problem very similar to this. And then we, what?
No.
Yes.
This is not
What? That last problem?
It has a lot of numbers. It got a lot of numerals.
All right. I've got 3 minutes. And here's what I'm going to do. I'll let you watch me solve number 15.
Number 15
Okay.
is giving me flashbacks.
Because you'll have a problem like this on your homework. So I would go ahead and write this down. Okay, you've got number 15. It's -5 times the square root of 200 m to the 5th, n to the 3rd, p to the 3rd.
What?
See?
Mr. Bennett, you're giving me flashbacks.
Flashbacks to
Last year.
you did the problem like this last year.
We have to.
With a lot of numbers. And ends. And keys. And ends.
A lot of alphabets.
Yes. Too much alphabet.
Too much alphabet. That's what I'm just like.
Too much alphabet. My son loves the alphabet.
I don't. Isn't there 28?
It's fair. Okay. All right. So the first thing, you've got this 5 on the outside. Okay, you got this 5. I could have just asked.
Oh.
Okay. It's a known number, I think. Anyway, the 5 on the outside. Okay. Save it for the end. Okay. Now, when you're taking the square root of multiple different numbers and variables, okay, you've got to kind of separate them out. So this can be rewritten as the square root of 200 times the square root of m to the 5th times the square root of n to the 3rd times the square root of p to the 3rd. Now, I know it seems like a lot, okay, but the variable ones are real quick. Okay, the variable ones are real quick. So the 200 one, we already know how to do that part. We'll do the prime factorization. I'll divide it by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Oh, I just did 5, but said 2. Yinny has the answer. And the answer is
10 to the something.
10 to the something. Okay, so we've got a 2 and a pair of 2s and a pair of 5s. Okay, so definitely a 10. So again, I'm going to bring this -5 down. Okay, so I've got -5 times. Then you said 10 times the square root of 2. 2 goes back inside because we don't have a pair for that last 2. Okay, now I'm just going to erase this for space purposes. You don't erase. I'm just erasing the prime factorization. Okay. Okay. The m to the 5th. Okay. Variables are really easy. Okay. Because the only thing that you can take out is m. And it just takes it down by 1. Okay. Now you can do this the whole way through. Okay, and that will get you what you need. The quicker way is that you just divide the exponent by 2. Okay, if it's an odd number, then your whole number that you just your whole number for your answer goes outside, and then you just have 1 left over. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you did prime factorization, you had 1 pair of m's, you had another pair of m's, you'd put them together. So then you'd have m squared. Okay, and how many m's do you have left over? Yeah, just 1. So that m goes on the inside. Okay, so if you have an odd number of exponents, then you can divide 5 by 2 evenly twice, so that 2 goes outside. Okay, guys, shh, you also quit talking, please. Okay, so you can divide the 5 by 2. Okay, that gives you 2.5. So the 2 goes outside. Okay, and then the 1 that's left over has to go back in. So what do you think it would look like if we did the n to the third? So if I divide 3 by 2, how many times can I divide it evenly? Just once, because that answer would be 1.5. So you'd have n on the outside, and because it's odd, you have 1 more left over. And you'll always only have 1 left over on the inside because we're doing square roots. And if you're lost, that's okay. This is a highly advanced simplification problem. Okay, but we're advanced students, so that's okay. And so for p,
Are we?
yes, you will be.
It's not right now. Or tomorrow.
Okay, p to the third would come out to be the same as n to the third, just with the p. Okay, nothing different.
I got that part right.
So now the last part is you have to put it all back together. So everything on the outside of the radical, you got to multiply together. So what's negative 5 times 10? Negative 50. Okay, times m squared, because that's outside, times n times p, times the square root of everything that's inside a radical. So now we have 2 m n p. Yep.
Why does math do this?
Welcome to algebra.
Who invented math?
Who invented algebra?
Just math in general. I want to have a witness.
Socrates.
I'm gonna go through with it.
I think these are the smartest people that have ever existed.
No, Ryan. No more fight is a vampire.
I like that part.
Take one and pass it.
He wants to like.
Take one and pass it.
It's scary.
Who stole it?
Ryan.
I got fitting. Take one and pass it down.
Don't worry about that.
Show and tell. What'd you bring?
What?
That baby not look like
The baby is nice.
I know.
Who got blue eyes?
I've been telling you this.
I'm just gonna say, this is my foot, or this is my ball.
Stop doing
I
hair.
love my ball. I
Avery
throw
had
my
one.
ball,
Seven.
and I kiss my ball. And then I'm done.
Kiss your ball. Okay.
What? I did. Avery had one.
No.
Has whatever color.
Yes.
I told you. Do you trust Malcolm?
You know what it is? You might